I've been hearing a lot from frustrated Toyota Tundra owners who have their truck as part of this engine recall, and a new trend has been coming out on the Facebook groups and forums I'm part of. We're seeing lots of owners who are being told by dealers, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want your used Tundra. This is causing a lot of concern consumers trying to get out of this truck and get something else because they have a lot of questions, concerns about the reliability of this engine that might have machining debris inside of it. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Let's just get to the news. As a journalist here, I love covering the news, but I want to make sure you guys are informed consumers. That's why I'm doing this. And so it's on pickuptrucktalk.com. I just wrote it up, just published it, literally like a good 10 minutes ago. Dealers are turning down used Toyota Tundra trade-ins due to the recall. And this came to me as I just got back from a trip to Denver. In my inbox was a email, and I checked with tundras.com forum. I've been over there quite a bit the last couple of days, and I've checked my Facebook groups I'm part of, and I'm seeing this theme happen time and time again. So the first guy was Joe. I'm going to say Joe. I'm not going to murder your last name. Sent this email that he has done with the Tundra after numerous attempts to have a bed knocking issue addressed and after several recalls. Joe had reached out to me. I'd been trying to figure out what the problem was. He had a weird bed knocking issue. I actually was able to get through to a higher level of Toyota support for him, which is really rare, but I was able to do this. And he just was done. He wanted to trade in a truck for a 2024 GMC AT4X. Solid truck. I've driven it. His local dealer, Castle Automotive Group in McHenry, Illinois, said thanks but no thanks on a trade-in offer, writing in an email. And I have the email here. I'm not calling out Castle Group. This is not an individual dealer thing. As you'll see, this is happening time and time again. And Castle Automotive Group is smart. They are smart by saying no, and I'll get to that in a minute. He says, unfortunately, it's not something we're currently interested in taking on trade or purchasing. This is in response to him taking in his Tundra and having them buy it. There have been a few owners on Carfax, but more importantly, there are 2 severe recalls that do not yet have a remedy. Okay, another owner, Jesus, responded to my query on Facebook. I made some queries so I get home because I want to make sure there wasn't an isolated issue. He says, yeah, I was first offered $50,000, but I was trying to get it more for it, so we were trying to wholesale it to other dealers. Then they were informed about the recalls and they decided they didn't want it after all. Tundra Forums owner or Tundras.com forum member Paul Philly had a similar issue with a dealer and responded to my request for information on this issue. He says, I called the Toyota dealer late last week and actually spoke to GM about the general manager about a used 2020 Land Cruiser. God is my witness. His response was, quote, I'm not interested in buying your Tundra, end quote. He did recommend I try a Carfax, a CarMax, Carvana, and a private sale. I said I would lose trade-in credit that way, but he wouldn't budge and stood firm. He has absolutely no interest in my 2024 Pro built 324. I expect this trend will aggressively get worse in the coming days, weeks, Tim. This is interesting. I pointed out 2024 Pro, which is very fascinating, because notably the 2024 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro isn't part of the safety recall, which is what Toyota is calling this recall, since it only affects gasoline-only engines. And the idea here is the iForce Max hybrid engines don't lose full power when the engine stalls or quits working, whatever happens, allowing them to use battery power to keep motive power, which is moving forward, per the recall. So the Max engines, the hybrid engines, are not part of the recall because they can keep the engine power or the motive power of the truck going. There is growing concern among owners that hybrids will eventually be included in the recall, and I'm seeing this time and time again. And I, for the life of me, just on my own thought process, I can't imagine why they wouldn't be. I can't imagine that the engines are built on separate lines in Alabama. I can't fathom that. But okay. Several owners said they were able to trade in their trucks before the recall was announced. A few guys got some pretty decent trade-in value with them. Why don't dealers want them? This is the critical question. Why don't dealers want them? The simple answer is they don't want them to sit on months since a fix hasn't been announced. This is key. Dealerships are required by law to fix all open recalls and certified pre-owned vehicles prior to selling them. Okay, they're required by law to fix all open recalls. So this means dealers taking Tundras on right now for trade-in either have to wholesale them to somebody else or have them sit on their lots waiting for a fix to come in. And since no fix has been issued yet and nobody really knows what's going to be, there's a lot of conversation and speculation online. I'm not going to get involved in that. I don't know what the fix is. I can't imagine you take something trade-in hoping for 6 to 8 months from now you might be able to get it fixed and turn a profit. Just my speculation off the top of my head. Owners can sell trucks privately if they can find a potential buyer. You can still sell privately. However, with Carfax reports showing the recall and the powered internet, that seems like to be a long shot to find a private owner who just buy it and be okay with it. I don't know. Good luck. Unfortunately, these 2022 Toyota Tundra owners are in a pickle, including the 2024 owner I just put above. They can't get rid of them, and they don't know what the fix may entail. A. They're also stuck wondering about how the recall will affect their resale value. B. I'm hearing that a lot as well. And the third thing is, finally, and the probably most worrisome part is they don't know if, when, or where their truck could end up on a flatbed tow truck with a bad engine. That is probably the key issue I'm hearing a lot on the forums. People are saying it's a ticking time bomb. I have a hard time disagreeing with them. I really do. And I have a hard time like choosing sides in this because I know a lot of Toyota engineers are really frustrated about this and they really are taking the teeth on this deal. I know a lot of Toyota Tundra owners are really frustrated taking the teeth on this. And like also the Lexus LX600 owners are up in the air too. This is a engine that was built in Alabama and in Japan. So there's multiple customers, different engine plants and things, which really raises questions about the Toyota build process of these engines. Because if both plants operate the same build process and both plants had a recall explaining this, there's just lots of questions going on. So I feel for everybody involved. I'm not making this to make $1,000 at clicks and that kind of deal. I'm just putting out there for you to be an informed consumer. If you're trying to trade in your truck, hey, this is information you need to know. And so you don't need to blow my inbox up. Here you go. And if you're looking for a used Tundra, this is information you need to know. So the question is going to really come down to, will the 2022 through 2024 Toyota Tundra trucks be known as the bad engine trucks? Will they get beyond this recall? I'd imagine they would. Toyota's been through many storms like this before in recalls. I think it's all going to be settled at some point, as far as frames and warranties, maybe extended warranties. Maybe there'll be a full injury replacement. Maybe there'll be a short blocks fix. Who knows what's going to be at this point. But I'm hoping this all gets resolved and be water under the bridge in time. But as of right now today, June 11th, Tuesday at 6:50 p.m., there is even more growing frustration with owners out there. And I feel their pain. And luckily for me, I had a 22 Tundra and I sold it a year and a half ago. So sorry, guys. I hate to be going through this. But let me know. Anything else comes up, email it at tim@pickuptrucktalk.com. Check out the videos over here. I'll probably link to over here. Link this way. I'll link to the video where I talk about the full information about all the investigation. It's really interesting information. It's the most interesting thing I think I've read in my entire career. Make sure you check the video over here. Also, check the website down below, pickuptrucktalk.com. I'll put a link to that as well. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.